started writing this play, I was thinking a lot about ghosts. As an artist, I have always been drawn to the idea of haunting. I loved horror films as a kid, and as I grew older, I thought a lot about haunting in the sense of how, as a Vietnamese person, a lot of things haunt my family. With films about ghosts, they're always portrayed as gruesome, malevolent things ready to jump scare you once you turn the corner. But within Vietnamese diasporic literature, there are a lot of ghost stories, and the ghosts always look a lot like us. Ghosts are everywhere in this play, depending on how you define the word. My first full-length play, Mary Magdalene, daughter Boatperson, follows 3 siblings named Mercy, Jimmy, and Joy after their mother's death. Mercy hasn't talked to her mom in years and struggles to even label her own grief. So she buries herself in distractions, in TV shows and smoking and other coping mechanisms. For Jimmy, the middle child, he faces a moment of transformation, now unburdened with the need to provide a nuclear family and grandchildren for his mom. And for Joy, the youngest, she's filled with guilt over how her mom was laid to rest with such frayed relationships with her siblings, especially in a country she never loved. The funeral is deeply imperfect. After all, her mom never taught her how to bury someone, and she wrestles with the need to see her again after an angel informs her that her mom has gone to hell. So she decides to follow her mother into the underworld.
We should visit sometime.
No.
I mean, not now, obviously. But eventually, you, me, and Jimmy, I think it'll be nice for us all to be packed up in a car together. A road trip to our childhood home.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to see us. Come on, Joy. You know I hate when people remember stuff and get all nostalgic.
I want nostalgia.
Things were better for you. I'm sure you know this by now.
I guess you're right. You know my memory's never been that good. Sometimes you and Jay talk about how things were with Mom, and it feels like I wasn't even there. Whatever. You been to work lately?
Nah. What are they gonna do?
Fire you?
Please. I'm the best they got. My jokes bring in half the pedicures.
That's crazy, because you're not even funny.
I'm funny in a suburban mom type of way. Doesn't take a lot. I just let a little bit of my accent sneak in. Fumble some S's and T's like I did growing up. Compliment the color they picked out. And they'll tell me how good my English is and tip 30%.
And they bring their friends.
See? You're a smart kid. You get it. And honestly, I don't know what there is to be sad about. I mean, I get a free vacation.
You haven't left your apartment.
I have. I get my steps in at least twice a day to go to the vending machine in the basement. I go to the door to get my Postmates order. I go to the roof to smoke spliffs.
I get it.
I'm tired. Sleep over if you want.
Your bed's kind of itchy.
Sorry. Like crumbs or something. Don't act all high and mighty. This is a well-earned break. I'll probably be better in a week. Or maybe you could put me in a big red urn to match Mom's. Yeah. Kind of like the idea of being table decoration.
Have you been taking your meds?
Fuck that! Don't read all that shit in the news about Big Pharma.
Mercy!
Relax. With how bad this could have gotten, I think you should at least be a little impressed. Come on. We all live in a death state. Be proud of me before I end it all.
You wouldn't.
Says who?
Says me, bitch! Funerals are a pain in the ass. I don't want to plan one again.
Make Jimmy do it.
Jimmy won't do shit.
Just throw me in the ocean or something. Bury me in your backyard.
I don't have a backyard.
We can brainstorm later.
Ow! You'll live.
Ugh! Jeez, I'm kidding! Don't be such a killjoy, Joy! Killjoy.
While each of their journeys and their relationships to their mom is different, at the center is a narrative about intergenerational found family queer joy, and how love and care compel us to keep going. Mercy finds care among the older Vietnamese women in her community. Jimmy comes to terms with his sexuality through his relationship with his best friend Six, and Joy journeys to fully understand her mom. In this play, the characters are mostly living, but the world that surrounds them is magical and surreal. For Mercy, Jimmy, and Joy, who are still reeling from their mother's death, they're haunted by memories of their mom and the lack of closure they had in their relationships with her. They see ghosts in their dreams, at the bus stop, at the store, in crowds of women they see their mother. However, these ghosts are not malevolent in the same way that while this is a play that tackles grief, this is not a world built without joy. Each of the characters has their own journey towards acceptance and love, and there is so much love for them. Within the American canon, Vietnamese stories are often synonymous with grief and war, but never the aftermath of how my people put ourselves back together. As an answer, this play rejects tragedy. As a student of ethnic studies, I draw from the work of Angela Davis and Mariam Kaba regarding the necessity of transformative justice in an abolitionist future, one free of prisons, police, borders, and war, and informing this work. If not for war, the context of this play wouldn't even exist. There would be no memory of cruelty, and no second generation to now shoulder the generational trauma caused by war and displacement of cruel American intervention. In this play, even with all the magic in the world, I couldn't ignore history's realities. I dream of a liberated world, free of the inhumanity of carceral structures. If this is the politic informing the world I seek to build on Earth, then I ask myself, how can I extend that to my understanding of the world that follows, the world of the dead? As a playwright, I grapple deeply with the colonial legacy of religion in Vietnam, and what it means to extend transformative justice to my spiritual practices. In the story, life does not end in death. Joy transcends to the next realm to bring her mother to salvation, even after she's gone to hell. By imagining a world where we can be fundamentally transformed and atone fully, even in a realm as deeply carceral as hell, I seek to embody an abolitionist politic through my work and spiritual beliefs that reverberates, because it is necessary for the healing of my community and many others. I'm a student in fervent belief that we all shoulder the responsibility of ensuring that no one is disposable in this world. Carceral structures disappear not only this reality, but whole people. We all grapple with our wounds and wounds that preceded us, and we all deserve safety, care, and a resounding healing that carceral structures are antithetical to. This play, in its small way, allows me to explore these conversations through the intimate bonds of a family. As a theater maker, the work I seek to create is liberation-based, an act of renewal and rebirth by archiving historical and spiritual Vietnamese processes and imagining a new arena for my community to be engaged. Following the work of theater maker Haruna Lee and playwrights such as Dominique Marceau, my aims on the page are to create conditions for transformation. Drawing from agitprop theater, I want to imagine the theater as an intimate site, curated for the specific community it seeks to radicalize into a political and spiritual state of action. I hope to extend these values not only to the script as a playwright, but to the rehearsal room and the technical process as a director. Theater is a very labor-intensive process, and too often is that labor invisibilized in pursuit of making beautiful art. But art is nothing without the people who make it. As I co-directed this play with the incredible Eric Vuong, community care was an ethic we wanted to imbue into every part of the production. Our work is collectivist and collaborative. We started the process with a community ideation where every actor, designer, and staff member, 40 incredible and ferocious artists, read through the play and talked about the culture of art making that we wanted to foster. Among our shared values was the idea that art deserves to be accessible to everyone. We held ourselves to a culture of shared knowledge, teaching, and continuous learning in the face of an art form that has often been gatekept and seated in privilege. We created room for rest and grief, especially during a time such as now, with the understanding that the art should not come at the cost of our bodies and well-being. We wanted to not only create theater, but to create community, so we always sought to keep joy and play centered in our process. We had a lot of fun, ate good food, and well, the footage speaks for itself. In making this work, one of my ultimate aims was to unsettle the American tradition of the white theater spectator and create a piece of theater by and for my community. We welcomed audiences of primarily people of color and queer folk, including 2 nights of performances that were specifically for the Southeast Asian community to come watch and collectively celebrate. Taking after the words of Erica Dickerson Dispenza and Dominique Morisseau, we encouraged our audience to laugh and weep and rejoice loudly without the fear of judgment in the space. Theater is a notoriously white discipline, dictated by rules on how to act respectably. We ask nothing of you but that you forget respectability. Be loud and unafraid. Allow your body to move as if the space is yours. It is. Ultimately, I leave this process thankful for every hand that has held this play with the most gentle of care. It is every bit mine, as it is everyone's who has supported it as a community member, family member, or friend. The community formed around this has transformed me for the better, and I couldn't have imagined a greater end to my play. His work has healed me in innumerable ways, and I am so thankful.